Hello, hello whiskey lovers. Jock here from Scotch and Folk. Here we are, Scotch and Folk. Now, get rid of this. Today I would like to introduce you to two of the first of a bunch of new releases from Tomatin, and one of them is called Fire. There we are, Fire. Let's see if our Tomatin Fire, yes, there we have it. And the other one is called Wood. Fire and Wood. Both part of a series of new releases from Tomatin. I'll just try and see if I can get my iPad to show you what these releases will be. There we go. The releases. So on the releases we have wood, fire, earth, metal and water. All of them are extremely different from each other, and we'll talk about them as we go along. I'll start with wood first. Now, I haven't even opened it yet, so you'll be able to see the unboxing and opening of wood. This is the wood from these 5 elements. There's a little YouTube thing that you can see about it. The artist, it's a British artist lady who painted the artwork for these bottlings. Absolutely wonderful. Now here I'm opening wood first, and what makes wood? Just a sec. There we go. Love the noise of an opening bottle. There we go. Get it in. Pour myself a generous dram. I deserve it, you know. I work hard. I deserve it. I became a grandfather yesterday, the day before I'm filming this. Maybe people will be watching it 10 years on and say, it'll be a thriving young boy. I became a grandfather yesterday, so I've got reason to be celebrating. Here we have it, the wood. Now, about what Tomatin say about this element of wood, I'll just get it and read it to you. I'm not going to read all of it to you, because they've decided to be very open about how they've done these expressions, kind of similar to what Compass Box are doing. You know, you can actually email them and ask them what the exact... what's exactly in the bottle. You know, there's a whole bunch of different barrels being used and from different dates, and the Scotch Whisky Association, in my oh so humble opinion, can sometimes be a wee bit condescending, a little bit condescending. Sorry about that word, but that's the only word I have for it. And they tell people you're not really allowed to say on the bottle exactly which barrels the ages of each barrel. So I'm not going to tell you that just now, although I know, but you can actually contact Tomatin. If you go to Tomatin Distillery on the internet and send them an email and say, could you please tell me the exact content of everything, they're allowed to do it then. That's what I mean by condescending. They're not allowed to tell you up front, but if you ask, they're allowed to tell you then. The wood, here it is, the wood. Yes, there we are. Tomatin wood of these 5 elements. Right. French, American and Hungarian oak. Wood, the first and most significant virtue in the production cycle, is embodied in this edition by the use of carefully selected French, American and Hungarian oak casks during maturation. The nose, well, it tells you a whole bunch of stuff about what they think the nose is, and I prefer to do it myself. Not that I'm doubting them at all. And at the very bottom of this little thing I have, it tells you the exact dates of and the percentages. It's well aged. Believe me, it's well aged. You'll just have to ask them yourself. Don't want to get anybody into any trouble, so I'm not going to tell you up front. So we'll taste it first of all. We'll nose it first. Oh, what do they say about it? They say about the nose. Come on, back you come. Complex, round, oaky spices and a warming, toasted undertone. Well, with all that kind of woods, all Hungarian, French, and American oak, yeah, it must be French, American, and Hungarian oak. A lot of different types of oak barrels used to influence it, and they had previous inhabitants. These bottles, these barrels, not bottles, barrels. Sorry, these barrels, different inhabitants, but it's very rich on the nose. Lovely colour too. I'll put it up to the camera. Maybe the camera will catch it. Yeah, lovely, beautiful nose to it. Smell that. Smell it. Can you smell it? Have a good smell. Go on. Smell. Smell it. Go on. Smell it. Great, eh? Toasty, roasty, toasty. Yummy, yummy. And in the mouth, without any water whatsoever. I like to chew it a wee bit first. Let it go around my mouth. Oh, lovely. I was expecting more tannins. Oh, now they're coming. Yeah, now the tannins are coming. First of all, it's kind of sweet and a little bit spicy. With spicy, you might ask yourself, what do you mean by spicy? Well, I mean a little bit like cumin and sweet, curry leaves, clove, a little bit. And then I'll put a little bit of water in. Now, I'll show you my wee water can. It's from Tomatin as well. Nice wee thing. You know, so here I'll put a little bit of water in. I'll just be careful and... Oh, spilling it all over the place. See, this old age, it doesn't come alone. It makes you spill things and dribble down my chin, which is kind of good, really. People feel sorry for me and give me bottles of whiskey. It's good. So there we go. Lovely in the nose too of these bottlings. Or better said, this particular bottling. That's the wood. Now, we'll compare it... Come on, Jock, don't spill stuff. We'll compare it to the fire. Fire! I remember as a wee boy, watching with one of my friends an old black and white Frankenstein picture. And Frankenstein, he's escaped his captors, and he goes to a cottage of an old man, and the old man's smoking, and he gives smoking a pipe, and he gives Frankenstein a pipe, and he gives him something to drink, and Frankenstein the monster, he says, "Drink good, smoke good, but fire no good." He ends up killing the poor old man, but anyway, this is fire. Let's see if it's any good. Let's see if the fire's any good. Fire, the second in the... Oh, did you hear that? Did you hear? I'll do it again. I love that noise. Do it again. Wait a minute. Here we go. Yeah. Oh, did you hear it? Good. Anyway. I know, I'm simple. I can't help myself. This is the fire. We've got wood and we've got fire. Here we go. Fire. Again, oh, by the way, I didn't even tell you any... There's the fire. I didn't even tell any of you of the percentages. They're both... All of them are going to be bottled at 46%. And of course, not a single dot of caramel colouring in them or anything like that nonsense. So there we have the wood we've had first, and the fire. I'll read to you what they say about the fire. I'll put that up there in the hope that it doesn't blink and fall down. Don't you dare. Here we go. Fire. Fire. The second phase of the cycle is exhibited through maturation of this edition in heavily charred oak casks, which, having been fired before previous use, were stripped, then refired, stimulating new fresh vanilla flavours. 100% Tomatin char rechar oak hogsheads. Oh, I'd love to tell you the age, but I'm not allowed. I don't want to get anybody into bother, as I said, so I'm just going to refrain from speaking about the ages of the barrels. And you can actually find out. It's not a big secret or anything. It's just that I don't want to get anybody into any bother by saying this on the internet. So just ask them, what's the age? What's the age of the barrels, and how old is this whiskey? And they'll tell you. Believe me, it's well aged. It's decent. It's got a decent age to it. It's not one of these really, really very young NAS whiskies. It's got a good age to it. So let's see what it said. Oh, this is different than the next. We'll go back to the first. But what sweetish. This one has the tannins in that I was expecting from the first one. Because there's so much wood, I was expecting tannins, which wood tends to give. But this one is this one has the tannins. The tannins I was looking for, at least. Now in the nose. Oh, it smells smashing. If only you could. Oh, go on, I'll tell you what. Have a smell. Go on. Smell it. Smell it. Go on. Get in. Get your nose into that. Go up to the screen. Smell it. You get that? Good. Oh. Mmm. And then in the mouth. Oh, yeah, smasher. Mmm. Okay. A bit of water in, and then we'll talk about both of them again, side by side. So, spilling water down my trousers now. I'm an awful man. As in Glasgow we would say, I'm an awful man to be the one man. Or for you people who don't speak Glaswegian, I'm a terrible man to be one man. In the nose, a little bit more tannins. Let's see what Tomatin says themselves about this one too. In the nose, creamy butterscotch with citrus and winter spices. I can certainly get that. Butterscotch and winter spices. Lovely. And then, so we have wood here, and we have fire next to it. The fire is a bit more a longer aftertaste than the wood. And when I read the description, I was expecting it to be the other way around. I was actually going to start with fire, but because Tomatin says, well, the first one is wood, I thought I'll just start with the first one. But which I did. So let's go back to number one, the wood. Okay, I'll show you it on my iPad. Although I'm going to cover the bottom part, because this is information that they will send you if you ask them. I'm going to cover the bottom part. There's ages on it, so it says there, things about the wood. It says the wood is the first and most significant virtue in the production cycle. Complex, round, oaky spices with a warming, toasted undertone. Hungarian even. Me wonders what the Hungarian wood would have been. What the previous owner, probably wine. They made wine in Hungary for the Habsburger royal family that was only meant for them. Basically, it's now available actually, that wine, and we'll taste it again. We're talking about the wood again. Back to the wood. For those of you who are slightly confused at what I'm doing here, I know I kind of go back and forward. Sorry about that. I'm not very speaking Dutch all the time. I sometimes forget English words. I'm not very. I forget the words. Sorry, but I'm not very that word that's in my head, which I can't remember. Wood. Indeed, a little bit sweet, and then the spices, and as it's going down, and I take in some air, it has a little bit of tannins, such a slight amount, a little bit of orange zest. If you peel an orange, you get that zest, a slight bit of that oranginess, or maybe even a better idea would be to say not so much orange as marmalade. Marmalade's a better word. A bit of marmalade zest to it. This, and then I'm going to act like a pig here. You have to excuse me. I'm going to drink out of my watering can because I forgot to get a glass for myself to put water in to neutralise my taste buds. Sorry about that. And then I'm going to go back again to the fire. Fire. I like to say fire with that kind of accent. Fire. Fire good. They both taste different. Look, this one's light, the wood light. I would have expected, I don't know why I expected it to be the other way around, but I expected the wood to have a bit more. But the fire, because it's been recharred and extremely heavily charred too, it means that actually the spirit's been able to penetrate, penetrate right into the wood and take the tannins out. So the fire's got a little bit more tannins than the wood. And the reason this is called wood is because it's got 3 different types of barrels in use. What some whiskey distilleries would call that a triple wood. I'd be dying to tell you what's in it, but as I said, I don't want to get anybody into any bother. The fire, back to the tannins, and a little bit heavier, more body to it. But both of it's lovely. Both of them, ladies and gentlemen, whiskey lovers, are very typical Tomatin style. And by Tomatin style, we all know that they have a motto in Tomatin which they say it's the spirit of the softer side of the Highlands. The softer side of the Highlands, they say about themselves, which is true. It's a very nice and soft and round and easygoing whiskey, which they've influenced by different types of recharring wood. A hogshead, probably a bourbon hogshead, and in this case 3 different types of wood to get this, and absolutely brilliant. You can collect them, which I'm doing actually. I'm going to collect them all the 5 virtues, and they've done it at a really decent price too. They've I'll go back to the start and I'll show you the concept on the iPad. I'm just hoping that that my little GoPro camera will be able to do that. There's the concept. I hope you can see that. There we go. With fire, wood, and wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. Wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. Wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. Now I'm looking forward to later on this year when the other 2 will come out, and I think early next year the water will come out at the start of because they want to mature that during the winter. They want to use a winter spirit for it. The artist Eva Ulrich, she's made all the artwork for it, and if I'll just do that with my fingers and zoom in so that you can see some of the artwork. It's actually very nice. The boxes too, they're really, really, really nice. It's well worth you can see them next to each other. I'll put all the 5 boxes together. There you go. Yep. Am I doing that wrong? Yeah, I'm doing it wrong. There you go. Yeah, you have all 5, and this is the first 2. So that's like I'm doing the wrong one. This one and the next one. These 2 that my finger is pointing at. So first one wood, and the second one, both of them excellent, both of them very recognisable for those of you who know Tomatin well. Some people have the tendency to call it Tomatin, but it's not. It's Tomatin. That's the name of the village. It's Scotland's last working distillery with housing for the people who work there. So that's got a great thing to it too. It's very nice, and if you look on it on tripadvisor.com, you'll be able to see what people write about Tomatin, and they usually say really, really nice things. It's actually got a lot of really great reviews. It's even won a gold medal as being one of the best visiting centres in Scotland. It's absolutely wonderful to go there. People are nice, jolly folk. The people that work there, you can tell that there's great job satisfaction. I'm not interesting at all. It's these two lovely boxes. Look at that, lovely, eh? Fire and wood and fire. So we did it. I kept saying it the wrong way around because I've got a little, I've got a capture thing here on my iPhone, and I could actually see myself, although a little bit slowed down. It's not synchronized very well, and I can see it in like a mirror. So I kept making mistakes. But here we have the wood again. Lovely. You'll like Tomatin. You should go to Tomatin. If you're ever in Scotland, you're on your holidays, or if you're Scottish yourself, and you find yourself travelling from south up towards Inverness, just take the slip off the A9 at the sign Tomatin and go and visit them. You'll be treated very well. They're really nice to you as well. Nice folk. You'll enjoy them. And the whiskey's second to none. Absolutely lovely. I've got a bunch of up there I'm pointing behind the camera, which of course you lot can't see, where I've got a whole bunch of different Tomatins. I've even got a 25-year-old up there, and lovely stuff. Very interested to see what they're going to come out with next, what the next are going to be in this limited edition for the collectors, which I don't really approve of. I'm a bit of a hypocrite because I've got a couple of things in the collection that I haven't opened because I'm going towards my pension, and now that I'm working for myself, I have to build up my pension. So I'm actually saving up some collectible bottles, which I'm going to sell just when it's time for me to stop altogether. But I hope there's a few years in me yet. I'm above 60 now, but I want to carry on for a good lot of years yet. By the time I'm allowed my old age pension from the Dutch government, because that's where I live in the Netherlands, I'm still intending to work. So I hope there's a few years in me yet, but I still need to, my secondary pension, the private one, has got a big rift between what I built up and after I stopped working for an employer and for myself. So that's what my bottles are for, which maybe the whole set here in about 8 or 9 years time, if I sold the whole set, I've got for every bottle I buy an extra one which I keep closed. So kind of don't approve of it, doing that too much, but because whiskey's made for drinking, innit? There we go. I like them both. There we are. Wood and fire, and they've set this wood on fire, recharge it deeply. By deeply charring it, they've taken out a lot of the elements of the wood. The first one's been given lots of different barrel types, as we said earlier, French, Hungarian and American, which is the softest of the two. For those of you that like soft whiskey, and this one, I'm not saying it's sharp, I'm not saying that the fire is sharp or harder to drink at all. It's still quite easy going, but it goes more to the side of grapefruit. More tannins in the fire, less tannins in the wood. Who would have thought it? I would have thought it would be the other way around. And it's absolutely lovely. Go and see them at Tomatin. They're lovely folk, and really nice towards visitors. They have that old Celtic belief that a visitor might be an angel, and if you're not nice to them, the angel will be waiting for you when you chap the pearly gates. and say, what about that time when I came down disguised as a human being? You didn't treat me well, did you? And so they've got that, they treat you well. And although they mean it too, they're not one of these folk that say, hello, how you doing, without meaning it. They mean it. So there we go. Wood and fire. The first two of the 5 virtues from Tomatin. And to me, a great honour to be able to present it to you. Lovely stuff. And I hope you enjoyed sniffing it. You know, there we go again. Have a good sniff at the wood and have a right good sniff at that. Smell it. Up your nose up to the screen. Smell it. Good, huh? So let's hope... it's been a long time since I've been on camera, and I thought it was high time that I did it. Anyway, cheerio the new, and thanks for watching, and see you next time on this channel. Well, with wood in my hand. Oh, that sounded kinky, didn't it? I better change to fire. With fire in my hand. See you next time. Bye-bye.